Hi, I'm John Hoganson.
And I'm Mike Carlson.
And we're with Scott Renard, a member of our facility team, and we are up on the roof of the main sanctuary to prove how hot it is outside. It is hot out, isn't it, guys?
Africa hot.
It is supposed to be about 100 degrees today, and you know, all sorts of people have been complaining about the weather, but I've been in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It's been 100 degrees every day, the entire month of July. That's hot. And Mike, do you ever get asked to do stuff about the weather, like turn it down, turn it up, stop the rain, the snow, get it?
Every now and then people make suggestions on how I could help with the weather.
Yeah, you know, I'll be greeting outside right on the sidewalk down below us, and people will say, you know, Pastor, can't you do something about the weather? And my standard answer is, I'm in marketing, not production. That's God's job.
He thinks that's funny.
I really do. I really do, and usually people laugh. Now, in Oklahoma City, the reason I mention that is the governor of Oklahoma, Mary Fallin, has asked for a day of prayer to help intervene and disrupt the weather pattern. What do you guys think about praying about the weather?
Fine by me.
Fine by you, Michael?
Well, you know, I think it says bring everything to God in prayer. Prayer means intimacy or connection with God, and so I don't see why you can't ask to do something about the weather.
Well, you know, you can't, but I look at it differently, Michael. I let that be God's job, and us try to respond faithfully to what's given. But I've always said that if you would like to grow in faith and get closer to God, then start by growing your prayer life. Scott, tell me, you have just such a strong, wonderful faith. Why is prayer so important in the life of a follower of Christ?
I guess just for me, I need to pray constantly because I'm always coming up against temptations or trials, stuff that I don't know, stuff that I have to go to God for. So I'm constantly leaning on God for His guidance and His direction.
You constantly are coming up against stuff that you have to pray about, Mike. Why is prayer so central to your life? You actually in your office have a kneeler so that you can pray in your office. Why is prayer so essential?
Well, I think in any relationship with our kids, with our friends, with anyone, we need to be in conversation and be in connection with. And prayer is our conversation, our daily, hourly, sometimes minute by minute conversation with God. What I like about what Scott said is, boy, I got to bring God everything. And that's what God wants from us, our brokenness and our strength, and that comes in prayer.
Yep, and one of the things that I found is so wonderful is when we just empty our heart and our life in prayer, we find that God really is God, and God is there. And even on days when it's supposed to be 100 degrees or 114 with the heat index, God's still faithful, even though we're complaining about what God's up to, right?
God's here in the heat.
And if you're sick of the heat, remember, January is coming. Have a great week. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.
See you in church.
Thank you, Scott.